My friend and my friend, Bhaktivedanta. I don't have it. I get a little nervous talking in front of big groups. I was thinking that today, being a very special day, being the disappearance day of our Gurudev, our Guru Maharaj for most of us, and Shiksha Guru for many, is a very, very special day. And usually on the day of, is it alright? Like this? Like this. Okay. And usually when someone disappears in the material world, we feel great lamentation and sadness, and it's a great day of sorrow. But actually on the disappearance of a day of someone like Srila Prabhupada, or any of the great acharyas, especially those who are following the line of Srila Rupa Goswami, who are actual Brijbasis, who never disappear, actually, who are always living. They disappear to disappear for us that have no qualification to see who they really are. Then actually it's a day of deep internal meditation and a day of great joy. Because actually these kind of personalities are giving us a very great treasure. And Srila Maharaj, he told us in Holland, he explained to us a little bit about what this great treasure is. He explained this deeper Lambaras, which actually Srila Prabhupada gave a little sprinkle of, because we're not so qualified. But Srila Prabhupada, being such a wonderful personality, he stole our hearts. He made us so attached to him. This was his great mercy. As much as we could, we loved him from the deepest core of our heart. We gave him our wealth. We gave him our youth. We gave him our health. We gave him whatever we could. We had nothing more than this. And we gave him everything. But we were little children. And little children, when they lose something, then they're very much bereft. And they cry. And it hurts very deeply. So we felt like this. Even though we knew intellectually that Prabhupada hadn't disappeared, he's still alive, still, we felt his separation. We felt deep, deep, deep separation. And we felt like we had lost something. And there was great confusion after he disappeared. And we had to learn a lot. But this attachment that he had us, that he gave us for him, this is what has been a great wealth, actually. And this feeling of separation, that we actually want to see him again. We want to be able to feel him. We want to be able to hear from him directly. This is something very wonderful. Maharaj explained that if one doesn't feel some separation in one's sadhana, then there's no sadhana. One has to feel some separation. So it begins with Guru. When we can feel a little bit of separation from our Guru, and he is actually our via medium to Mahaprabhu, to Radha and Krishna, then we're very, very fortunate. And Prabhupada gave this a little bit at least. We're not so qualified, so we can't feel so much. But he gave us this feeling of separation. And the more that we can feel that, actually, the more fortunate we are. This feeling of intense greed, we want it to grow and grow, because we want to be with Srila Prabhupada again. But we can't be in the same way. We want to be there in the form, in our perfected form. So we have to develop our love for him. We have to develop our service attitude. So Srila Prabhupada, in his great mercy at the very end, he showed to us who can help us. He told us to come to Srila Narayan Maharaj. And there's a story in the Chaitanya Charitamrita about one astrologer and a very poor person. And the astrologer, this is in the teachings of Sanatana Goswami and Mahaprabhu. And this poor person, he doesn't realize he has a great treasure. And the astrologer comes to the poor person and he says, actually you have a great treasure, but you don't know where to look. You have no idea where to look. And you don't understand that your father has left you a great, great treasure. So actually, Prabhupada has showed us who the astrologer is. This is Srila Gurudev Maharaj. And he has told us what this great treasure is that Prabhupada gave us. And that is Krishna, Krishna Bhakti, and Prema. And not just any particular kind, but Vraja Bhakti. And not just any Vraja Bhakti, but the love of the maidservants of Srimati Radharani and their service attitude. And this is who Srila Prabhupada was, and this is what he wanted to give us. And we can only actually receive that when we feel that we want it. We have to want it with great intensity. It has to come by desire. And we have to feel separation. We have to. We have to cry for it. Prabhupada said in the Nectar Devotion, the only ticket that we can pay to enter Vrindavan is by tears. One cannot buy an airplane ticket to Vrindavan. It's not possible. One has to cry and cry and cry. He called it Lolium Lalasamai. This is the only way we can actually come to Vrindavan. So if in any way we can cry by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, to be able to be with him in Vrindavan, serving under him, Srimati Radharani and her beloved Krishna, then we're very fortunate, and this is a great treasure. And Prabhupada gave that, and Maharaj is pointing this out to us, and we're very, very fortunate.
Ravindranath Prabhu should come and he should glorify his Gurudev.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale. It's not an easy thing to do. It says with material senses we cannot chant the holy name, see Krishna. We need spiritual transcendental senses. So I'm unqualified to properly glorify such a personality of Srila Prabhupada. That the spiritual master, the pure devotee, is not one of this world. He is Gaura Priyajana, Arada Priyasaki, a dear girl companion from the spiritual world. We say there's 10 offenses to chanting of the holy name to get Shuddhanam. Unless we cross beyond the Nam Abbas, Nam Aparad, these 10 offenses, and we all repeated the 10 offenses many times, and one might say, what is the worst offense of the 10 offenses? And usually we think to blaspheme a guru or pure devotee is the most serious crime in the offenses, and it is. But because the spiritual master is an ocean of mercy, it is said that the ornament of the Vaishnava is forgiveness. He can forgive us, but even a more severe offense is to consider the pure devotee an ordinary person. So Srila Prabhupada, it's not that he perfected his sadhana and he was a pure devotee. He is coming down from the spiritual world. Like all our Guru Varg. His love for his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, knew no bounds. So his whole life was one of preparation. But just like in Gaur Leela, everything Mahaprabhu did was a pastime in itself. So Srila Prabhupada's so-called difficulty in household life, etc., was to teach us. There was no obstacle at all in his life. It was for our own learning. Because he is not one of this world. He has come down. He is a dear companion of Srimati Radhika. I've heard devotees say that Prabhupada was not of that character, and it's very sad to hear such things. Because if one actually does not understand that the pure devotee is coming down from the higher world, it's very hard, difficult to make advancement. And to hear the Hare Katha from such a pure devotee is about our only hope. Really, what sadhana, at least for myself, what sadhana can we do? So the only hope is to hear the pure Hare Katha from the lips of a pure devotee of such a caliber. There's a story that you heard, but some of you might not have heard it, and I'll just say it again. That when Srila Prabhupada came, this was narrated to a god brother of mine, who someone told him, and Prabhupada told in confidence, that when he came over on the Jaladut, he had a couple heart attacks, and he said that he prayed to Krishna to relieve him of his pain. The Prabhupada told this devotee, it was Vishwambara Goswami, father of Papanabha Goswami, who told this devotee, told me. Prabhupada didn't want anyone to know this. He said, please don't tell anybody. But after Prabhupada left, this devotee couldn't keep it in his heart anymore, and he had to say that when Prabhupada had that heart attack, he said Krishna personally came and massaged his chest. So it was all a plan, Krishna's plan, and Saraswati Thakur's plan. Prabhupada was picked to do such a mission. So these dear associates of Krishna are very, very rare. We sing every day, Shri Guru Charana Padma, that the lotus, let the lotus grow in our hearts. And what is that lotus? It is the Bhakti Ras. Another name for rasa, there's many names for rasa, one is water. So where does the lotus grow? The lotus grows in the water. So the lotus of love, that Bhakti Rasa, grows in the heart of the Vaishnava, of the aspiring devotee. And by hearing the Hare Katha from the lips of a pure devotee, one can advance further and further. In Kali Yuga, it's very difficult, especially for Westerners. It is said that Jagai and Madhai were so fallen, but I can personally attest, they were angels compared to myself. And I know that. So sometimes you see a spider and just a string is hanging from a spider web. The only thing that I'm hanging on to is Prabhupada's mercy. I can't do proper sadhana, I can't do anything. So I prayed to Prabhupada very much what to do. And it became very, very clear and evident to come to Srila Narayan Maharaj. Some things I can't really say now, but it's a very, very deep feeling, and very deep things came to me. A few years ago, when I met Srila Narayan Maharaj, he said, never leave me and I'll never leave you. And that same feeling, when you used to look in Prabhupada's eyes and sit in front of Prabhupada emanated that same feeling within one's heart. That he promised that if we continued our service to him and our love for him, he'll never leave us. And that same feeling, that same heartfelt feeling is there with Srila Gurudev. So, Srila Gurudev asked how we came to Krishna consciousness, so-called. In fact, I really haven't come yet. I'm just starting, trying to come. And so many things are being revealed more and more by Srila Gurudev. But to make a long story short, in 1968, I went to a festival. They used to call them love-ins. The devotees were there chanting. And I saw they were quite unique. I never saw devotees before. I was quite young, very young at that time. And they handed me a card to come to a Sunday feast. And because that evening I was quite hungry, I went to the feast. And there I bought the old purple Bhagavad Gita with picture of Prabhupada in the back. And I looked at that picture and I thought it was, what an amazing person this person is. So beautiful. And so for the 4 years, I tried to read, but I was quite young. So in 1971, I was going to college, and a few friends that you might know, Tripurari Swami and a few others were living in a house, and Prabhupada came to Los Angeles for the first time, and we all drove down. It seemed like yesterday, actually. And we came to see Prabhupada, and that was it. Love at first sight. So, sometimes in a race, you see in a relay race, when someone is passing the baton to the next person, the race must go on. So I feel in my heart that Srila Prabhupada wanted so much for us to proceed. And in his last days, he took Gurudev's hands, and he knew what he wanted. But he had to say it in a very certain way. And as that baton was being passed to the next runner, Prabhupada has lovingly passed on his heart and his mission to Srila Gurudev. One last thing I want to say that was kept very quiet in Prabhupada's last days. In 1977, in September, he was in India and he was going to America. He wanted to see his disciples for the last time. The doctor told him if he went to the West, he might get better. I happened to be in England then, and they asked me to guard Prabhupada's door. Upendra Prabhu was Prabhupada's personal servant. And after a few days, Prabhupada got very, very sick. And so Upendra asked me, Devendra, come in the room and help me. I can't take care of Prabhupada myself. He can't get out of bed. So Prabhupada got worse and worse, so-called worse, by the day. And then he called the secretary in and said, we're going back. And the secretary said, where are we going? Prabhupada said, we're going back to Vrindavan. So Prabhupada was only going to stay a week, but it ended up staying 3.5 weeks. And Prabhupada got quite ill, and Prabhupada's mood was very different. He wasn't speaking, he was very quiet. He had to wear glasses, and we had to carry him in a little palanquin. And it was a very moving experience because he didn't actually say a word. And one day, we thought he was going to leave at that time, so we took him to the hospital. And it's not so good to talk about this, but it's a very, I think, important point. It's been kept quiet. So at the hospital, Prabhupada had a minor operation, but he didn't care if he lived. He was ready to leave right then because he was always in Vrindavan. And he said, do whatever you like with me. So as they did the operation, I was watching the operation, and then the nurse took Prabhupada out of the room, and I helped her carry, the bed was quite big, and I helped her take the bed down the corridor, and I looked at Prabhupada, and his head was tilted back. I had to look down, because Prabhupada was in physical, his physical pain was great. And I felt it was because of his disciples like myself that couldn't carry on properly what he actually wanted. So his dear friend and associate, eternal associate, Srila Gurudev, Prabhupada has heartfully passed on his mission. The mission goes on in many ways, but when you have a magnifying glass, you might see certain things that are more prominent. And as Gurudev says, we should never criticize. So let whatever others do. But we are following someone who's so sweet and dear to Srila Prabhupada that our fortune is so great. And I pray that Srila Gurudev bless me that I can continue.
Sripad Brajendanandan Prabhu should glorify his Gurudev.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvasesa Sanyori Pacharine Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Vanchakalpatarupascha Kripa Sindhuva Evacha Titanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo I have mixed feelings coming in front of everyone. I'm in this association feeling quite intimidated and unworthy. But at the same time, because of the eternal debt I have to Srila Prabhupada, I want to say something to glorify my spiritual master. Not too long ago I read something in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It was a purport by His Divine Grace, and it was very timely for me. I had been praying about 2 years ago for quite a long time because of my fallen condition to properly understand and appreciate Srila Prabhupada, because I didn't. I'm too much of a beginner in this life and very little adhikar. And praying and praying and praying for such a long time. And then Srila Gurudev comes to Badger, California, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and begins to explain to us in a very deep way who our Srila Prabhupada is and what he wants from us. So without that, I wouldn't even attempt to begin to speak here tonight. But somehow, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, I've been placed in the care of his dear friend, the Rasik Vaishnava Srila Gurudev, who is helping me to have some hope in this wretched life. This purport that I read shortly after Gurudev's arrival, it was in the story of Shivananda Sen in the Antya Lila of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Shivananda Sen had befriended this dog on his travels. And by the grace of the association of Shivananda Sen, the dog then got the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and as Prabhupada explains, that dog went back to Godhead. And in this purport, Prabhupada spoke so beautifully. First, he commented that one has to become the dog of a Vaishnava. For about 40 years, I've had no trouble being a dog. But to be a dog of a Vaishnava is no light thing. And Prabhupada's words were so powerful as he expresses that point there. And then he goes on to explain that his father, Gaur Mohande, who was a pure devotee, prayed that Srila Prabhupada would one day become the servant of the eternal consort of Lord Krishna. Because Gurudev had been indicating the proper understanding of Rupanuga, being a Rupanuga Vaishnava, and there had been so much speculation about Srila Prabhupada, this and that. Reading that purport was so reinforcing for me, as well as the Katha, the Hari Katha that was coming from Srila Gurudev, that I began to see Prabhupada and Srila Gurudev working co-jointly in my life to lift me from what is probably called the mire of material existence. And then Prabhupada went on to explain that we have to, even if one is wretched and fallen, if he gets the favor of a pure Rasik Vaishnava, then the same mercy can come to him as to someone who is very advanced in taking shelter of a pure devotee. So, knowing my own background, there seems to be some competition tonight as to who is the greatest dog. I don't know who was, but I know I was definitely in one of the breeds. Now, Srila Prabhupada, I first saw him in 1968. I was a college student. He came to speak at my university. I was too fallen to come to the precincts of Krishna consciousness. But I never forgot. I had no idea that I was meeting my eternal Divine Master. But somehow or other there was some respect and appreciation there. In the middle of this 60s turmoil of illicit sex, intoxication, very calmly he speaks to us and says, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling. I knew there was something of substance there, but I wasn't able to accommodate it fully in my heart. And then about 2 years later, when I became materially exhausted, all my aspirations for dog life were finished, I came to the temple, and I immediately joined, or stayed at the temple, lived, and I started following the 4 regulative principles, chanting 16 rounds. And after about 6 months, I accepted Harinam from Srila Prabhupada. But my conditioning and my low nature were still manifesting. When it was time to reach for the beads, I reached with my left hand. And Srila Prabhupada pulled back. And with affection, but with like, who is this person? A little bit of that. Then he gave me the beads in my right hand. And then on another occasion, shortly after that, some reason he looked at me. I never had much association direct with Prabhupada. These were just a few moments. And for some reason he wanted a madanga at the Kirtan. And I was so clumsy and adept. He just happened to look at me and he said, "Where's the madanga?" And I immediately panicked and started shaking everybody in the temple. "Where's the madanga? Where's the madanga?" And then on another occasion, I went to Mayapur, and in the evening I was guarding Prabhupada's quarters. This is just to tell you what Prabhupada had to deal with, and yet how merciful he was. And it was in the evening, and Prabhupada had to go to the restroom. So I ran down in front of the bathroom, and I stood there with a stick like this, waiting for Prabhupada to come out with the stick. And Prabhupada walked out, and, "What is this? You are guarding?" "Yes, Prabhupada." Yeah, and he just started laughing. And he looked up and he said, "What is he guarding?" So even though I was a fool and a wretch, somehow or other I was allowed to engage in his service. And because he accepted that service, I never cared for anyone in my life before. But we distributed books, we lived in a van, we went out in the snow, we went out in the subways, car to car, in the blistering hot sun. But because Prabhupada said distribute my books, we performed all these austerities, and we were happy. And little glimpses of Vraja, as we would read the Krishna book at night, would manifest causelessly in our heart, just by our connection with him. No other reason, no other adhikar. As one of my friends once said, "Srila Prabhupada, you are our only opulence." And I think that prayer, Gurudev, it says, "Your mercy is all that I am made of." So after some time, for whatever reason, the fire of service waned, and pride, offenses, and arthas came up, and again, Purna Musaka Bhav. So many years of torment and anxiety, speculation, fear, and then, as I mentioned, the prayers, "Please help me again to properly understand and serve Srila Prabhupada." And then Srila Gurudev arrived, and my life now has hope. So I want to take this occasion in Varshana, as Prabhupada said, somehow or other, he said in this purport, I have become the eternal servant of the consort of Sri Krishna. So here in Varshana, in the association of another eternal servant of the consort of Sri Krishna, who has given me his shelter, and in the association of some of his pots without holes, I, with whatever little sincerity I have in my heart, want to beg you to please tolerate me, please accept me, and to please allow me to no longer be a dog, but to be the dog of a Vaishnava.
Mulaprakrti.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharne Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paskachade Shatarine. I offer my
prostrated obeisances at the lotus feet of my beloved Diksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, and my beloved Shiksha Guru, Srila Narayan Maharaj. So, the way that I met Srila Prabhupada was that I had been a college student in America, and I was studying psychology. And all my life I had felt like I was in a nightmare, that I didn't belong in this world. And I was always searching. I was thinking there had to be some other life. There had to be some other way of life, other people who had some knowledge and who were loving and who had freedom from the insanity that I saw all around me. But it didn't seem like there was any hope. Because in those days, in America, they never taught us about any other world or any other culture. It was just America was the all in all. So I was praying and searching like that, and in college, I remember I was asking my professors, isn't there any kind of spiritual people? Isn't there any other religion? Isn't there any people who have control over their minds or who have a connection with God? But nobody knew anything, or at least they didn't tell me. And then I started traveling. I went and I traveled at different parts of the world. And I was always asking people, do you know about anything better? Have you ever met anybody that's free from this illusion? And of course we were hippies at that time, so we found a lot of other kinds of illusion on that path. But I started noticing that certain people were going to India. And I immediately, the minute I heard about India, I felt I had to go. I wanted to go. So somehow I was supposed to go back to America and finish my college, but instead I ran away. I didn't tell my parents that I wasn't coming back, and I didn't have any money. And somehow I hitchhiked all the way to India. And this was in 1970. And in those days there were so many hippies going to India, so I just jumped on. And it was about 7 months, and even in India I was looking, where's the pure spiritual knowledge? And I would look, no, you're not quite right. And there were so many yogis and so many bogies and so many different kinds of experience, but I was not finding anything. In fact, I ended up completely bewildered and confused, and I came back to America, and I met somebody who said, and I loved India, and I remember when I crossed the border between Pakistan and India, there was a war going on or something at that time, and it was in the middle of the night. And as I stepped onto that soil, I began to weep, because I knew that I was home, but I didn't know anything about the culture. I didn't know anything about the spiritual, what the treasures were inside there, and there was nobody to help me. But when I came back to America, this person said, oh, I know where you can go. You can go to the Hare Krishna temple, just right there down the block. So I went to the Hare Krishna temple, and they had wonderful prasadam, and everybody was dancing, and they were decorating the temple with flowers because Srila Prabhupada was coming that next morning. And even just coming into that temple room, I knew that I had found that home I was looking for, even though I didn't understand a word. And when Srila Prabhupada came, the deities were there, and it was the spiritual world completely. And when I saw Srila Prabhupada and the emanating love, and he was completely a direct connection to the spiritual world. I could feel that, and I knew that. And so with all the feeble enthusiasm that I had in my heart, I surrendered that day, and I moved in. And in those days, our service was we went on Harinam all day long, and we gave out pamphlets, and we gave out back to Godheads, and we gave out prasadam and incense all day long. And then we'd come home, and we would collapse. And this went on for so many years, and I never once for one day doubted that I had found the solution to my spiritual search. But being such a baby and not having very much ability to understand the philosophy, all I knew is that Srila Prabhupada is that connection. And there was never one time when I didn't experience from him, or by watching him or hearing his classes, that unfailing love and affection and complete invitation that by serving him and by imbibing his instructions, he would take me where he was, where he is in the spiritual world. But when he disappeared in 1977, I remember being terrified and just looking around the assembly. We were all sitting in the temple room, and they made the announcement that he had left. And just like little babies, we were all wailing and crying. And I remember looking around thinking, oh no. You know, he was all that ever connected me to that knowledge. I didn't know any other way, or any other way to be connected to that. And I knew it was going to be really, really rough. So for the next so many years after his disappearance, it became all the things that I had thought were Krishna consciousness, like the temples and the leaders and the external activities, which were all at that time pretty wonderful. They became impossible for me to feel that same connection. And even when I wanted to have that connection with Srila Prabhupada, I never doubted that he was that connection, but I didn't have the adhikar or the sadhu sangha or the spiritual practice to stay connected in that way. So it took that many years of humbling and prayer and practice in a very small way, simple way, to try and pray for his mercy. Because still in the material world there's nothing else to compare to what Srila Prabhupada offered. So in our little community in Badger, many of us had assembled there, kind of being hospital evacuees from one hospital out into the wilderness, not knowing where we could get shelter, and just praying to Srila Prabhupada in a very desperate kind of way that Srila Narayan Maharaj came. And the minute that he came into our lives, I immediately felt Srila Prabhupada at every single moment again. And then I realized that it isn't just Srila Prabhupada, but that these are emissaries from the spiritual world, and they're all from that same family. And by serving them and by imbibing spiritual instruction from them and gaining their mercy, then we also can become firmly fixed on that path to that spiritual world. So I used to think that this was the saddest day, and for many, many years, many of us would sit together and just be devastated. But now, since last year, it's become a very happy day. So happy because I don't feel separation from Srila Prabhupada in that same way. Because I know that by serving his representative and his friend, Srila Narayan Maharaj, in that same way, with that same enthusiasm, but now it's tempered by some maturity and humility and a little bit more ability to hear and understand that there's such great hope. And I feel that same enthusiasm to want to bounce up and down and pass out flyers and literature and books like I did before and tell people, you please just come here and I'll connect you with someone who can connect you to the spiritual world, and we can all walk in that direction. Hare Krishna.
सद्गुरु का एक लक्षण है कि उसके प्रत्येक शिष्य ऊपर से नीचे तक सभी समझते हैं कि गुरु जी हमको बहुत प्यार करते हैं. The speciality of Gurudev, Sadgurudev is this, that all disciples from top to bottom, they think that my Gurudev loves me much more. I heard from all the disciples of Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, all used to tell that he used to love me so much. Also, I have seen our Gurudev. I used to know that Gurudev loves me more than anyone. But here we are so many, still, like Nikunja, like who? R.K. Vaishnava Maharaj. Oh, they think that he used to love them more than me also. He used to tell, oh Nikunja Prabhu. Oh, so this formula also goes to Swami. Anyone who has came to him, whether he is disciple or not, especially if he is disciple of Swamiji, he must know that, oh, he used to love me so much more than anyone. So his specialty was like this. Everyone. His smiling face, even to a child, he will try to play with a child, a smile. And when he will be with very learned person, he will be very great. Like the President of India then was very learned person, biggest Mayavadi, Ram Krishna, Radha Krishna, Dr. Radha. Then he used to be very great. And cutting their all arguments, Mayavadi, in a very easy way. It was very easy for them. But I know this thing, that he wanted to mix with general persons. He went to colleges, he went to very big doctors and philosophers and all. But not so much. He wanted to mix with general persons and to preach in a very general way, in a very simple way, all these things. That we are mortal, every suffering, sorrow, birth and death, especially in old age, and we should try to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. We are Christian, he used to tell. We are Christian, but what Christian? Refined or what? Real Christian, reformed or real Christian. So, he used to tell that his office was in Bombay. His southern place is in Mayapur. And his eternal abode is in how he fixed all this. He used to tell that there is a lame person and another is blind person. We Indian, lame person having eyes, strong also. And Western, they are blind, knowing nothing but in spirituality. So they are blind. But they have so much money and everything. वो इस चीज को कहा करते थे, जो भारतवासी जो भक्त लोग हम लोग हैं, यहाँ के लोग लंगड़े हैं, वहाँ के लोग अंधे हैं, दोनों मिलकर के हम चल सकते हैं. We can walk helping each other. Blind person can carry and lame person can come on the shoulder and he will direct the way. So is it not a true fact in all? माने संपूर्ण रूप में ये संपूर्ण रूप में नहीं है, जागतिक रूप में है. हाँ, तो भी वो ठीक है. भक्त जो होता है लंगड़ा नहीं होता है। जो मुकुंद का भजन करता है वो किसी कारणी नहीं होता, वो किसी चीज की कमी नहीं उसमें होती है, वो संपूर्ण रूप से पूर्ण होता है। The devotees are पूर्ण, they don't need not help anything but for material world. For preaching, wealth is also somewhat necessary, but it is not so much essential if our heart is true, sincere and devoted to his Lord and his Gurudev, and he is a very big, both dridha sankalpa, well determined, then wealth and everything will come. So he was determined. He was fixed in his object. That is why he went to England, America, and very easily he caught the hearts of all devotees. He made happy two hippies. Who were hippies, he made them happy. Once he was telling that when he was in New York, on that tree and that park, and he used to begin his movement only alone in that park, sitting there on our Kirtan, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advait Gadadhar Shivas Adi Shiva, closing his eyes, like Samadhi, and doing Kirtan. Who is here, not here, who is hearing, not hearing, no mind, कोई भी परवाह नहीं। और हिपी लोग वो सब यंत्र लेकर के एक तारा और क्या क्या लेकर के उनको घेर करके रखते, नित्य करते। They used to dance when he used to sing, and they used to give him wine. Oh, we are very happy, so you should also take this. He did not hate them. And after some time, so many hippie, very young personalities, boys and girls, they came and they took initiation, and thus, in a very short time, everywhere in the world he preached so much. तो उनके संबंध में बहुत कुछ कहना है. I want to tell something more. And in the class here, after Arati, we will sit again. I am requesting all to come there. Just after Arati and Parikrama, we will sit there and we will hear so many sincere and senior Vaishnavas. I think there are so many. And we will hear, and also I will also try to tell so many things in connection, what were connection with me, and how he attracted me, and how I served him. I did not serve him, he took my service. So now one Kirtan should be done, and after that we will go to Arati, and just after Arati we should all come, and then again we will glorify.
So, on this holy tithi of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj's entrance into the Nikta of the mind topic, I would like to take some opportunity of making an announcement about his dearmost God brother, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. There may have been some confusion about when he joined Gauriya mission and which year he took from that. So I would like to clarify that, confirm about that. Guru Maharaj Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami joined Gauriya in 1926. He fully committed himself to the mission of his Gurudev, Srila Darshan, in 1926. And he joined in Calcutta Gauriya. And he took sannyasa initiation in 1930, October 1930. I'm sorry for some confusion. The other day, Srila Maharaj asked me about when he joined, but I did not hear properly. I thought he was asking me about when he took sannyas, all this, so I did not remember clearly. I said 32. That was not correct. Sorry for mistake. He took sannyas 1930 October. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
So, Pujyavad Nikunja Prabhu glorify about Pujyavad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. At first he showed that this is the speciality of Glorifications Samiti, and this is the speciality of our Param Gurudev Srila Krishna Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, to whom he gave a renounced order. Their title is Bhaktivedanta. Someone can understand from home or from work which society he took sannyas. Nowadays, after that is going on, who will take renounced order from Glorifications Samiti, their title must be Bhaktivedanta. So in this line, the Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, who preached all over the world, he took renounced order from Glorifications Samiti. When he preached all over the world and returned India, and he hosted Devananda Gauriya Math with his 17 renounced order disciples, and Pujyavad Kamal Krishna Maharaj also there. He was household devotee at that time. When Swami Maharaj reached here in Navadip, there was flood. A big flood came in Navadip. He wanted to leave Navadip as soon as possible, but due to flood, he is bound to spend more than 1 month. And Navadip, many in India, especially Navadip, so many mosquitoes. So Pujyavad Swami Maharaj asked Nikunja Prabhu, because Nikunja Prabhu was in charge at that time under Gaura Pujyavad Srila Vikram Maharaj. Srila Maharaj also there. He was Bhandari at that time. Bhandari means who take care of kitchen like Premananda Prabhu at present. So he told Nikunja, please come. And there is so many mosquitoes in Navadip, please arrange some mosquito nets for them. So Nikunja paid money for mosquito nets. Nikunja purchased 17 mosquito nets from market. And Swami ordered him, please have one mosquito net to each person. You did so about 1 a.m. So Swami Maharaj get up from his bed and asked Nikunja Prabhu, Nikunja, please come. You have mosquito net them? Well, yes. Can you check they are used it or not? Nikunja went and saw that they are wrapped mosquito on their body and they are sleeping. And Nikunja came and told, and Maharaj began to laugh. Oh, I know. They don't know how to use mosquito net. Please teach them how to properly use it. Then Nikunja teach them how to use it. After some days, Pujyavad Swami Maharaj want to purchase some land in Navadip. Then Param Pujyavad Srila Vikram Maharaj for established mosque. Param Pujya Srila Maharaja asked him, better you can purchase land for establishing mott across in Jamuna and Mayapur. If you establish mott in Navadip, then everyone can think that this is the Mayapur. You know, in Navadip, in one area, they told that was in Mayapur. But if you establish mott here, then they will say, no, this is proper Mayapur. So please, you can purchase your land for mott, crossing Jamuna, crossing Ganges, and the east side of Ganges. It will be better. So, under the taking the suggestion from Srila Maharaja and from Srila PureBhakti.Tv Maharaj, he fixed it to my ears. This is a good point. I shall establish my mott eastern side of Mayapur, eastern side of Ganges. So, after when 1 month had been passed, and when Srila Maharaj, Pujya Swami Maharaj hosted in Navadip, then Param Pujya Srila Maharaj asked Nikunja Prabhu, because he was Bhandari, please take care very politely and very good way. Nikunja did so. And after 1 month, Pujya Param Pujya Swami Maharaj asked him, Nikunja, can you inquire the train is going on or not? Due to overflooded, the train was stopped. Can all train cancelled? So after 1 month, Nikunja Prabhu contact with station master. He replied, yes, we shall start first train today. Then Nikunja Prabhu went to Swami Maharaja and asked him. Their station master told that they will start first train from today. Better you can, Nikunja Prabhu request him, better you can stay here today. After that, tomorrow you can leave from here. No, more than 1 month have been passed. I am making so much trouble for you all because overflooded, so I could not go. It is too much expensive because so many devotees are taking prasad here. When they are leaving our mott, then Param Pujya Swami Maharaj asked Tamal Krishna Prabhu at that time, he was Tamal Krishna Prabhu. He was secretary and told Tamal Krishna, please come and pay some pranami to them. Then Tamal Krishna Maharaj, because he has taken 1 month prasad, the 17 renounced person, yourself and myself. So please pay something, donate something for fooding and lodging. Then Tamal Krishna Maharaj take only 10 rupees Indian currency and donate to Nikunja Prabhu. Then Swami Maharaj told Nikunja that they are renounced person, Brahmachari, they know nothing. But Tamal Krishna is household devotee, he knows how to maintain. So they live here, they are hosting and lodging, putting everything. He is paying only 10 rupees. He being a Puja Param Pujya Swami began to laugh and everybody began to laugh. He is so expert. Yeah. As before, Nikunja Prabhu mentioned one point. When Param Pujya Swami Maharaj returned from Western country, he wrote letter to Srila Maharaj, which published just now. I hope that you have read the book, the letter. Here he mentioned that Srila Maharaj, I returned to India and I want to live in Vrindavan. If I die, no problem. If I go again to Western country, I want to leave my body in Vrindavan. So if I could not go anymore in Western country, there is no problem. I make some platform. If there is any Guru Nishta Seva without any hypocrisy, he can preach all over the world very easily. I hope this day has come. He made platform from Srila Maharaj. Now Srila Maharaj is preaching all over the world very easily. When Srila Maharaj went to Western country, he had to ask them, don't take beef, don't take liquid, liquor, everything. But for Srila Maharaj, not need to say anything. Because he made platform for Srila Maharaj. So he wrote in his letter, if I could not go anymore, I make some platform, will be very Purnishta Sevak and without hypocrite, he can preach all over the world very easily. This day has come. And another point is about God, that one time Bhaktivedanta and Harivilas Prabhu came, and Harivilas Prabhu used to serve his Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra Devi. He used to take them small size Jagannath Subhadra Baladev to Ganges and give them bath there and return again in our Navadip mosque. And he used to serve. And he used to offer every day about 1 kilo dry food. And he used to serve this deity with only coffee without any outfit. And during the Saraswati Puja, that means in month of March, like near about Basanta Panchami day, he was serving his duty and his school in all over India. This worship Saraswati, the demigod Saraswati Devi. This is the privilege of learning. So they are playing mic, so many instruments. This disturb for him to serve his duty. So he don't know, he forget that he is without any outfit, only door open. He ran to the school and asked to stop their mic. But they laugh him and clap him. And they are kissing him and ridiculing him. Oh, red monkey, red monkey. He became furious, he could not do so because so many thousands of students, they teasing him. But head teacher was very polite. He asked him and make him come and provide, and then Swami Maharaj said, now Nikunja Prabhu, Nikunja, please go and take him back here. Then Nikunja Prabhu helped him to coming back. And so many things Prabhu expressed, I couldn't remember everything, so which I can remember, I expressed my idea. Hare Krishna. Another thing, when they want to explain about Nitya Lila Pravishta, someone can use so many adjectives with his Gurudev, with the name of his Gurudev. But Nitya Lila Pravishta is best adjective for Gurudev. Nitya Lila Pravishta means the divine couple, they do so many pastimes, mainly in Rasa Lila. Rasa Lila the best pastimes all over all pastimes. Why so? Krishna told himself by his own mouth, Santi Jatavi me Vraja Lilastata Manohara Nani Jane Smriti Rase Manovikidisam Bhave. Krishna is telling by himself, there is so many pastimes, all pastimes can address everyone's mind. My mind also, but I don't know. What is in Ras Lila, I could not check myself. So Ras Lila is best Lila according to Krishna's own opinion. So in Nitya Lila, then the divine couple sent him for preaching. After that, he come back and there. So Srila Prabhu prayed, Parampujo, lotus feet of Parampujo, Swami Maharaj, please best face mercy that one day we can be going in this path and attain service of divine couple. Nikunja Prabhu take this idea from Srila Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Vancha, Kalpataru, Pascha, Kripa,
With the permission of PureBhakti, Narayan Maharaj and Maharaja and the assembled devotees, I'd like to say something. We are assembled here to glorify His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. And it is not easy to properly glorify the spiritual master, as one is supposed to properly understand his teachings, his moods, and be a proper representative of his teachings. So I do not possess any of those qualities, so you have to bear with me. Maharaj asked me to speak. I was telling him, what will I say? I have no back, just a little gyan. He said, well, speak your gyan. So please bear with me. First, the spiritual master, he doesn't appear alone. He doesn't live in a vacuum, so to speak. He belongs to a family, Guru Varga. And that Guru Varga goes back to Krishna. He is the Adi Guru, or Samastic Guru. And Krishna has this desire to reclaim all his Jivahamsas, all the fallen souls, and to enjoy a relationship with them. Either he comes personally or he sends generation of saints, missionaries to reclaim all the fallen souls. He comes himself, most recently as Srimad Mahaprabhu. So it is said that the spiritual master, he embodies the energy of his own spiritual master. That desire of Mahaprabhu was carried by the Goswamis, and in the course of time it came in the hands of Srila Bhaktivedanta, who revived the line which was practically extinct. After Bhaktivedanta, it came in the hands of Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Prabhupada certainly embodied the energy of Saraswati Thakur, because single-handedly he did what would have normally taken the launching of a massive invasion and inundation of the Western world by the sweet flow of Krishna consciousness. He did that alone due to circumstances known now in the history of our movement. So Prabhupada came and he distributed alone Krishna consciousness in the Western world. And more than that, he reported it back to India through intensive preaching. Now, Prabhupada, through his books and his teachings, he stresses one point again and again, practically every book, every page of the book, Sadhu Sangha. Because Sadhu Sangha, he said, Krishna Bhakti, Janamula, all Sadhu Sangha. The birthplace of Krishna Bhakti is Sadhu Sangha. So Prabhupada, he fulfilled that part. He gave birth to all Bhakti. Now, Bhakti, after taking birth, has to be nurtured, has to grow. And that is also done through Sadhu Sangha. Because by Sadhu Sangha, everything is coming. Rupa Goswami now summarizes all the 64 limbs of devotion by saying, Sadhu Sangha, Namakirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathurava, Srimurtira, Shodayat Seva. From Sadhu Sangha, we see everything is coming. From Sadhu Sangha, there is automatically Nam Kirtan. He introduces a chanting, he makes us chant like Prabhupada did with us. And he speaks, Bhagavad Shravan, he speaks the Bhagavatam, so there is listening of the Bhagavad. Then there is Mathuravas, living in a holy place, or making one's place, dwelling place a holy place. Then Srimurti worship is also there. It's all coming from Sadhu Sangha. And also, in Prema Chandrika, or Narottam Thakur, he said, through Sadhu Sangha, one's bhajan becomes purified. So Prabhupada, before departing, he made the arrangement to keep on teaching his disciples through sadhus, both within ISKCON and outside of ISKCON, within his institution, ISKCON, and outside. Outside of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada said, if you have any philosophical questions that you cannot answer by reading my books, you should go to my dear godbrother, Goswami Maharaj. And of course, my dear friend, Siksha disciple, Narayan Maharaj. And within ISKCON, Prabhupada said that if you would make one pure devotee, his mission would be successful. And he made such a pure devotee. Now, in 1978, while the 11 senior devotees that Prabhupada appointed as Ritviks, until his departure, not further than that, while they were busy, complacently rubber stamping each other, as the pure devotees, Uttamadhikaris, and God knows what not. Now, a few rooms away, in the same building, Nityananda Vishnupad Gogovinda Maharaj, my Siksha Guru for 10 years, he was in a state of bhava. Now, the devotees had never seen that in ISKCON, so they thought he must be ghostly haunted. So they went to Navadvip to call some tantrics, and the tantrics came and said, nothing to do with us, this is not a ghost. Now, Akinchana Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, whom Prabhupada certified to be a Paramahamsa, he came. And when he was shown Gogovinda Maharaj, he said, oh no, this is not a ghost. He is in bhava. If he doesn't leave his body due to the strong words of bhava, which are like, devastating his body, he will become the greatest preacher. So, through that, Gogovinda Maharaj, which are like, spiritually speaking, not Prabhupada's first disciple, but Prabhupada's foremost disciple, like his eldest son, Prabhupada meant within his camp to keep on teaching the younger son. This is the system normally. When the father leaves, the eldest son, at least in India, this is the system, or even in the West in the old days, not anymore of course. The eldest son is supposed to teach the younger son. Now due to immaturity and so many other reasons, I'm not going into name calling right now, this was not acknowledged, but it was more or less suppressed until practically the end, when Srila and Krishna, they were so disgusted with their pure devotee being harassed constantly that they took him away 1.5 years ago. So through Gogovinda Maharaj, we have learned to dive deep, to use Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj's expression, into the teachings of our line, the line of Srila Rupa Goswami. And of course, on the level of Vedic Bhakti as per Adhikar, with an opening towards Raga Marg and a proper understanding of Rasa Tattva. Now, since we are in Darshan, and Prabhupada was Srimati Radharani's dearmost, or I would say very dear servant, we've been singing this about him since the day we joined, all of us every morning. Nikunja yuno radhikiri siddhai yajani vidyate avepshadiya tatrati daksha. He is expert in making arrangements for the sweet union of Radha and Krishna. We've been singing about that with Prabhupada. So because he was a dear servant and we're in Darshan, I'd like to link up, if I'm allowed the time by Maharaj, to link up glorification of Prabhupada with glorification of Srimati Radharani. For instance, it is said by Bhaktivedanta Goswami in Manasiksha, one should see the spiritual master as Mukunda Prashta, dear to Mukunda. Now Mukunda means he who gives liberation. In Vaishnava line, liberation is defined as Mukti Manatahana Swarupena Devastiti, to be reinstated in one's Swarup. This is not possible without praying. And that prayer is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is a display of Vladini Shakti. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, the identity of Srimati Radharani has been given by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in two ways. One more generic and one more specific. It is said, Radha Krishna Prabhupada Vladini Shakti Rasman. One is a general definition. She is Vladini Shakti. We translate it in English as Krishna's pleasure potency. What does that mean? It means that through her, Krishna is enjoying rasa. She is the source of all loving service to Krishna. Now, she is Swarup Shakti. Swarup Shakti means she is not different from him. That is the definition of Swarup according to Jiva Goswami. That's what she is always with and not different from. So she is Krishna's Swarup Shakti. So being not different from him, she more than anyone else knows how to praise Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada, because he was her maidservant, he knew more than anyone else how to praise Krishna. That's why he could have such a success. Now, the identity of Srimati Radharani is given Krishna Prabhupada, and the question can be asked, and this we have learned from Govinda Maharaj, why not Krishna Prabhupada? Why not specifically Pranaya? So Srila Goswami Padi explained that after Prema and Sneha, when mana reaches a certain point, then it is called Pranaya. When it comes to the point of the feeling of oneness, it is called Pranaya. And he was quoting Ujjvala Nilamani, which gives an example of Shedak, or wax. When Radha and Krishna's hearts, they are pressed together and melting due to the intense heat of separation due to man, then that is called Pranaya. In that state of Pranaya, there is no feeling of personal desire for one's satisfaction because there's a total feeling of oneness. And in that position, Srimati Radharani, she is satisfying Krishna the most, either directly as Madanakyama Bhavmayi Swarup, the embodiment of the topmost bellows of love, or indirectly through a Kaya Vyuha, literally other bodies, Kaya Vyuha of Srimati Radharani. It is said that without many kantas, but without many lovers, Krishna cannot taste ras fully, and he is Rasika Shekhar. He's only interested in enjoying ras. So he cannot do that without many kantas. So Srimati Radharani, she expands and manifests herself as all the different kinds of nayikas, heroines, to match Krishna's different moods as heroes. He has different moods as heroes, she matches. Whenever he wants to enjoy a particular mood as a hero, she becomes the corresponding nayika, heroine. In this way, she is creating for Krishna a festival of ras for him to enjoy. Now back to the point, this was like a parenthesis. Back to the point, it is said that praying is a manifestation of Vladini Shakti of Srimati Radharani, and that liberation is not possible without praying. And that praying is a set of Srimati Radharani. It doesn't belong to Krishna, it belongs to her. He has to steal it from her and assume her mood, Bhagavad duty Suvalitam, to come and distribute it. And she expands in so many ways to please Krishna. And specifically he said even the love of the jiva, all love that we have to give to Krishna, it doesn't even belong to us. It is said it is a display of her potency. In other words, it is not there in the jiva, but when the heart is purified, then that nitya siddha bhav, it is given by her through her pure representative to the jiva to offer it to Krishna. This is how it is explained. And Govinda Maharaj has taught us all this thing. I want to repeat it like a parrot, because Maharaj said you can give your gyan. That's that we are right for tonight. So, back to the point of Prabhupada, if we say that the Guru is dear to Mukunda, dear to the one who gives liberation, actually it's not to Mukunda himself, but to Srimati Radharani, that he is very dear. And Prabhupada, no, that's the way he was seeing his own Guru. Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, he has revealed that There is two songs Prabhupada has done, composed, one in the boat and one when he came to America. And in the first song, Srila Maharaja explained that actually Srila Prabhupada was trying to petition Krishna, almost like blackmailing Krishna, and saying that, my dear friend, if you don't help me serving my Gurudev, who is Radharani's most dear servant, you will not get her favor. This is, we never understood this unless before we read the commentary of Srila Maharaj. But he explained like that. So certainly Prabhupada, he saw his own guru as such. And Prabhupada said there's no different kind of gurus. There's no big mantla for big guru and small mantla for small guru. No. There's Akanta Guru Tapa means they all, either they qualify or they're not qualified. Either they match the qualification or they're down. It's like nowadays so many people have the title of guru. And for instance, Goswami Maharaj people were saying, oh, you are a very exceptional guru. In one sense, yes, because they're so rare, they're exceptional. But it was not exceptional, it was what the guru is. That's what guru is. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta, Srila Maharaj, Srila Puri Maharaj, Srila Goswami Maharaj, Srila Narayan Maharaj. That is what guru is. And there are not so many of them, but they all have the same hallmark. They're all dear servant of Srimad Narayan. I've been very talkative, you've been very patient. I will just finish by saying that actually Srimati Radharani, because she's giving pleasure to Krishna, she keeps him under her charm. And because of that, she's called Madam Mohan Mohini. And this is this specific aspect of the ultimate reality that Gaudiya Vaishnavas worship. In other words, Radharani, she is the goddess of the Gaudyas. I've even read in one book, I think, Bhaktivedanta Kirtan Maharaj, I think. He said that if Srimati Radharani and Krishna would split, their loving quarrel would last. He said that the whole Gaudiya Parampara would turn their back on Krishna and follow Srimati Radhika. So, Prabhupada has taught us all this, either directly, either indirectly. And he was, also I'm very, I don't know if you can find words really to describe. I don't find it. No. I was brought to the crying school that Goswami Maharaj opened in Bhubaneswar. And now it seems that I am directed also by Prabhupada to the prestigious school opened by Vishnupada Maharaj here. And I'm submitting my application to be enrolled in the school. And if you don't mind, bear with a little strange and funny student like me, maybe you can give me a little mercy to be accepted too. Ramesh
Prabhu can come and they can glorify his future. Right?
Classes here today because all are tired. Some of them are sleeping. So tomorrow we will again glorify because I am seeing so many qualified senior Vaishnavas here. They want to speak something and I also want to hear something. So tomorrow again we will glorify him. And tomorrow we will go in morning after our class is at about 7:30 to Uncha Gaon, the birthplace of Srimati Lalita. There we will go to Shakhigiri Parvat, Vishalni Shila, Chitra Shila, the Vivah marriage place of Srimati Lalita with Krishna, Shakhiku, Deyakunda, Davuji, Altapadi, so many things. And in the way, we can go to Pilipukar and we'll glorify all these places. Then, in the evening, at about 4, we'll sit there and we'll discuss again and glorify. Gaur Pramanande.
Sensation relate how I came to be standing here this morning. Yesterday I had a desire to talk to Prabhupada about the song that I had written, and time was running short and I didn't have a chance, so I approached Vraja to please take my name off the list because I didn't want Gurudev to call my name out and I wouldn't be here. And so Vraja, instead of crossing my name out, brought me into Maharaj. And Maharaj understood the situation, and he said that I should make this presentation this morning. So Krishna works like that sometimes, and things like that tend to increase our faith, especially in my life myself. So if I could, I'd like to just, this is a song, it's usually accompanied with a guitar, but I'm just going to try to sing it. My Father, into this world I was born. Another beginning, I'll see another dawn. And throughout it all, I remain an eternal soul in search of love, but always trying to control the good and the bad that I have done. It's kept me on this wheel and kept me on the run. And then by God's grace, you came to me. My true Father, eternally, you walk this earth, calling us home, singing of God everywhere that you roam. And what you said it so clear, like don't put your faith in the things that disappear. You said it all, you said it so clear, don't put your faith in things that disappear. You gave it all and you gave it for free to anyone with a desire to see. Now some say you're gone, but how can that be when I'm here with you and you're always with me? So take to heart all these things that you've shown when I'm feeling lost and feeling alone in every situation. Be it heaven or hell, you was fixed in devotion. You taught us well about all these designations that I wear like a cloud. I've taken bodies by nature as my karma allowed. You preserve what I have and you carry what I lack, and you set me straight when I jump the track. Now these tears in my eyes, they're just my pride. They're not quite real, a bit on the phony side, but even a shadow of attachment to a pure and great soul can grow to be real love, can make me whole. So I desire to desire, one day desire to show you some real emotion, just to let you know that your pleasures become mine, my very breath, unconditional love. Beyond birth and death. But I come up short, like I always do. My only hope then is go running after you. But damn, this greed and this lust is what I know most of. I got very little understanding of a spiritual love. But you said if I act sincere, then one day I might become awake to my true identity. My heart no longer numb. And your glories go forever, they go forever and a day. And though I can't really do it, what I'm trying to say is there just ain't anyone to compare. And wherever you are, I want to be there. So if I say that I love you, please don't think ill of me. I know we're both well aware of my hypocrisy, but by your kindness and your mercy, even this can be changed. And if I let you in, it's already been arranged.
best medicine for a patient like us. But this medicine is not sufficient. Though it is sufficient, yes, we require some other things. And so much lectures and so much books we are going through. Why? Don't you know that? Only name of Radha Krishna is sufficient, that is the best remedy. What is the necessity of going through these scriptures? Pandya Vidasita Sundram Jnana Paramatmana Vritam Anupradeka Krishnana Silanam. One necessity of knowing it and practicing. Why? We are impure. Purity is necessary to get climax. So you should try the practice which is harmful in this point. So we should try to give up and not it is the path that you will go away without effort. Both the processes should be accepted. Anukulasya sankalpa, Parikrama Vivarjan. We should be careful for that. Not only the best remedy you will do. We are praying the best thing. But we should know, to get the best thing, we shall have to possess the best quality. Unless and until we possess the best quality, we cannot get that best thing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu get Vishnu, the best thing. Unnata Janarasan Sabhat Sriyam. He prescribes chanting. And that is the only way, also said by him. What is the necessity of practicing so much in the scriptures and gone through the scriptures? Assisting meditation. So it should not be neglected. Thank you.
Namo Maharaja Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurati Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Sadadaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Mangashyamati Sakati Mande Pratendivaram Jaganja-Budarosi Sankitana-Kamrupantam-Varasya Vrindaran-Karivasinam Hedila-Saptama-Vidamodaram Radha-Sangati
रामानुजं प्रपद्ये कृपामयिं त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नास्ते तवैवास्मि तवैवास्मि दयाविना कल हम लोगों ने परम पूज्यपाद श्रीमद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज जी का तिथि मनाया। सबसे पहले हम लोगों ने सबसे प्रथम में अपने गुरुदेव विष्णुपाद और प्रज्ञान स्वामी महाराज जी का शिरोभाव और आज पहले इसके पहले बच्चे परम पूज्यपाद निश्चलीला डॉक्टर सिद्धार्थ महाराज जी का भी हमने आज आज परम पूज्यपाद नित्य लीला विष्णुपाद श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांति महाराज जी का the appearance date of the Bhakti Roop Siddhanti Goswami Maharaj. We take him like our Shiksha, especially he has a very close connection with our Gurudev, Nitya Lila Bhakti Pratyakshya. क्योंकि हमारे गुरुजी जब वो पहले मठ में आए तो मठ में देखा कि सभी में लोग पढ़े लिखे विद्वान आते, इसलिए वो छोड़ करके फिर मठ में से पढ़ने के लिए चले गए। When he went to mठ in a quarter, but he saw that here all are so learned persons. So I must go return to my home and I should learn all things and then I should learn. So he returned to his home and he began to learn